So back in 2005, Microsoft released the Xbox 360 series of consoles. This console was meant to contend with Sony's PlayStation 3. However, a few months after release, users began experiencing problems. Specifically this problem, the red ring of death. Now, if you're a PlayStation 3 user, you may not be familiar with this issue. But don't worry, I got you. So, this was a critical system failure in the Xbox 360 series of consoles, which was characterized by these three spooky lights. So now we have a way better understanding about what caused this issue. And it's the solder balls being cracked underneath the repeated heating and cooling by turning on and off the console. But back in the day, it was crazy because it seemed like it could be caused by literally anything. I mean, CPU, GPU, PSU failures, mounting bracket problems, bad credit, bad hygiene, a mild case of pneumonia, and chafing. And because we believed almost anything could cause this issue, most everything was a fix. Such as wrapping it in blankets and turning it on for 30 minutes, taping a penny to the CPU, and sticking the whole fucking thing in the oven. This is what we went through. And back in the day, the common theme was if it broke, it was already broken. So who cares? I'm not even joking. I remember having the red rings of death and slapping my Xbox, and it started. Other people dealt with their frustrations in other ways, such as submerging them in liquids, dousing them in flammable liquids and setting them ablaze, striking them with blunt objects. There was even a video of soldiers in Afghanistan hitting the fucking thing with $50,000 worth of Uncle Sam grade A freedom, which I don't know how that's legal, but it's the best fucking way our tax dollars were ever spent. So trust me, you do not want to make enemies with gamers. And Microsoft had just made themselves the biggest boss fight of all. By all accounts, this should have been game over for Xbox. Yeah, my mom wrote that joke for me. However, Microsoft was not our stepdad. They were a dad who stepped up. I'm not even gonna lie, they probably ran one of the most effective marketing campaigns of all fucking time. So Peter Moore, the president of the gaming division of Microsoft, goes to Steve Ballmer, the CEO of Microsoft, and says, hey dude, we're gonna have to spend $1.15 billion just to fix this issue. And do you know what this man says? Do it. Ice in his veins. Ice in his veins. Ice in his veins. A man's a straight shooter. I'm talking eats his noodles, no sauce. I don't even know what that means. Why we do not get off script. And that's what they did. They ended up spending $1.15 billion on FedEx to ship back Xboxes from the consumer to headquarters. Why am I picturing the Batcave? I don't want to try and make light about this issue or even try and forgive them, because initially they did try and hoe us into trying to pay for our own consoles to get fixed for the mistake that they knew that they made. Plus, they did some pretty unsavory things afterwards. Like, they released the next Xbox just without the red ring of death. And I'm talking about without the fucking lights around the button. But it would still get the red ring of death, basically. I've even read stories on Microsoft's forums about people sending in their broken consoles and getting back an obviously refurbished console, which is different than their own. And the Xbox 360 would go on to be the 9th most selling console of all time. One place behind the PlayStation 3. And that's where our story ends. Yeah. You know, I really tried to find like a movie conclusion to this. Like some form of quote or some statistic, but I really couldn't. And that's because it's real life. And sometimes the villains of the story don't get beaten and they don't win. Sometimes people just get mildly upset. Everybody forgets. That's exactly what NASA did with the moon landing. No, I'm just fucking around. I just realized that I was kind of going off the tangent. No, yeah, thank you for making it to the end. Yeah, thank you for making it to the end. I really appreciate it, and thank everybody for their positive feedback on the last video, and I'll try and get this one out in the next 3 years. But as always, there is a door charge, so if you want to enter in this club, be sure to like and subscribe. And no, I'm really serious. Thank y'all for showing so much support, and if y'all like this one, do the same. Fuck, I'm sweating. God dang it. I always do that. And then Peter Moore goes to Steve Buscemi. What? And then, why did I say Buscemi? It's not even written. And then Peter Moore Pussy. And then Peter Moore Bitches goes to... And then Peter Moore Bitches goes to Steve Ballmer and says,